Richard Gibbs?
Yeah.
Was he the guy that so Richard, correct me if I'm wrong, was hired to do the miniseries of Battlestar Galactica. And how did you know Richard? Because he was the main person for the miniseries. Explain that to me.
Yes.
It was so long ago.
Richard was hired on the miniseries. I was his assistant.
Oh, okay.
I was his assistant at that time. That was my first job out of college. I was 23, I think, when I began working for Richard.
Wow.
Wasn't my first job, nor my first mentor, who was Elmer Bernstein, who was a legend in film music. So the reason I bring up Elmer is that they were like, I got these two experiences working for two film composers. For Elmer, I'm working for a guy who wrote The Ten Commandments, The Great Escape, The Magnificent Seven.
Wasn't Elmer in, what was that name? The band called Oingo Boy? No, what was the name of the band?
Richard Gibbs was in Oingo Boy.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
That's
with
it.
Danny Elfman, another film composer. But I worshipped all these guys when I was a kid. I was a fan of all these different kind of film composers. And when I worked for Elmer, I learned so much about like the core art of storytelling and filmmaking and drama. And I also got to see a guy at that time, he was in his 70s, early 70s when I met him. And I thought, this is the life that I want, right? I want to be like this. I will hope in 50 years, 60 years, I want to be like this guy. With Richard Gibbs, he was obviously is much younger and a different generation. And he was really working in contemporary television and film in a way that Elmer wasn't. Elmer's in the top echelon. He's a legend. So with Richard, I am learning different things. I'm learning hands-on how to get something done. How do you get a demo sequenced? How do you mix a video to present to filmmakers? Just like nuts and bolts, right? And he gets hired on the Battlestar Galactica miniseries. And I remember looking at the first cut of that, and I just thought, this is going to be important. I mean, I at that time was and remain a huge fan of science fiction. And you did not need to spend a lot of time looking at Battlestar Galactica to realize what it was. Yeah. So I ended up writing a lot of music on the miniseries, supporting him, writing additional minutes. And, basically when it went to series, he had a lot of film commitments, and he did a couple episodes that I helped him with, and then he left, and truly Ron and David were going to look for somebody real. And while they were looking for somebody real to somebody real, I'm not kidding. They let this 24-year-old child score one episode while they looked for the real person. That one episode, because of a change up in the mix order, that first episode, the one episode I was supposed to do was 33. So
that's awesome.
I wrote 33, and I remember vividly at the mix, the final playback, they did all their notes, and I was there, and David Icke was quiet for a second, and he goes, "What are you doing tomorrow? Let's take a look at another episode." And I thought, whoa, 2 episodes. I mean, all right. And then I did a couple more, and it just kept going like that. If you remember The Princess Bride, the way the dread Pirate Roberts says, "Nice job, Wesley. I'll probably kill you in the morning." That's Battlestar Galactica season 1 for me. Nice job. I'll probably kill you in the morning.
What are you doing tomorrow?
And yet, exactly. What do you do? All right. What are you doing tomorrow? Let's try another episode. But that is how it's irresponsible to let a 24-year-old score a show that big. It was just the circumstances of it.
I remember meeting you and being like, because I was the youngest person in the cast.
You and I were the
same age. And I was like, our fucking composer is my age.
Yes. No, I remember so many times having to hide my generation. Because I was the age or younger than the person in the office asking if I want a coffee when I go in to meet with the producers. and I look it too, right? I mean, I was very baby faced.
We both.
I remember one time I learned this the hard way. I was in the limo going to a rap party. So this is now season 4, and there's, I think Ike is in there, Tomo, a couple of them. We were going from Aaron's house to the library, wherever that party was.
Yes, the big one at the end.
The big one at the end. And everyone starts talking about Back to the Future, Katee. And I'm like, oh my God, I can talk about this. This is great. And I go, oh my God, I love Back to the Future. Look, when I was 5, that movie changed my life. It was like the car stopped, right? Brakes screech. When you were, what? And then, David Icke's like, I was going into college, and everyone else is like, they're like 18, right?
Yeah.
And I'm 6.
Uh-huh.
And I realized I have made a boo-boo here. So, but you had this look on their face. They were like, you could almost see them regretting working with me. Like, you're that young? Why are we working? And then it was fine. But I realized, like, I got to be careful. And I want to ask you something. You and I we've both paid our dues. We've both stuck it out. We've both proven ourselves on Battlestar and other things. And I have noticed the more I'm in the business, I am not the youngest person in the room anymore. And then I started to notice, filmmakers are now like my age, and now it's starting to shift, Katee.
It is.
Now they're younger. Have you noticed this?
I have. Like,
it's a trip, right?
I used to love to tell people how young I was because they were like, I'm sorry, what? And it was like, it would shock them. Like they were just like, not okay with how young I was. And it was a subtle shift. It happened probably just even like the last couple of years ago. And I think the craziest part about it was that it happened during COVID. And so it's like I entered into my 40s in COVID. So I lost my 40th birthday, my 41st birthday. Like I lost all of that. And then I showed back up at work and I was like 43, 42. Right. And was like, people are like, I no longer got to say I'm 39 on set. Like that window, that was gone. And all of a sudden I felt like people were like, oh, you're that old. Like you could be my mom. And I was like, yes, I could be your mom. Shut up.
And do you start getting the feeling where it's like, share your wisdom. It's like, oh, we respect you so much. Share the wisdom that you've picked up in all your experience. And I'm like, whoa. I'm only now starting to embrace that. I do want to observe, however.
Yeah.
You look incredibly young. You look fucking amazing, if I may say so.
Thank you.
I feel like, I've got the gray coming in and I'm kind of embracing it. I'm going gray here.
I love it.
It's like, as the role of a musician, the gray kind of works for me, right? That it's like, sure, man, I'm look somewhere between like Mozart meets Gandalf. I'll rock that. That works for me.
Yeah. No, listen. I bless you. I think my goal in life is to age gracefully and naturally. And by naturally, I've had a little Botox. I'm not going to lie to you, but my job is to move my face. And therefore I move, I can't do I can't. I have to be very careful with what I do to my face. But, my goal is to age. That's always been my goal. My goal has been to go gray when my hair starts to go gray. My goal has been to, like someone the other day on social media said, you should do something about those wrinkles. And I was like, no, like I earned these wrinkles.
Social media, by the way. I know,
social media, like, please come on. But like, you know what I mean? Like I earned this, like, aging is truly a gift. And I think that I think it's lost on people how blessed we are to age. Like you go spend 5 minutes in a children's hospital and then come out of there and tell me that you're not lucky to be 40 or 50 or 60 or 70, it is something like it's hard. It's hard in the industry that we're in, thank God I've got good genes. So I'm like, oh, thank God. But
same. I mean, I feel the same. And I think that I feel and look better than I ever have. I'm definitely in better shape than I've ever been in my entire life. And I'm happy, and I'm learning how to be happier every day. And I don't look back at my 20s and I'm nostalgic because of all the things that we got to do, but I'm not like, I literally wish that was my life now. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
No, I wouldn't go
I don't want to be that person. That person was an idiot.